Hello.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello.
Wow.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Are we all here or some of us still missing? I think there's just like I counted 10. So are we like live?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Like
Yes,
it.
we are.
I,
Yeah.
Well, very cool. I leave it to Chris for making these most amazing and GatherVerse. Thank you, GatherVerse and Chris for creating such an improv opportunity for me to meet so many unbelievable women. So I can't wait to have you all introduce yourselves. And since we're all just super meeting each other and we're going to create magic on the spot, I will just throw the hat up in the air and I'll let it fall on Jennifer. And then, Jennifer, you'll throw it on the next person as you choose. And then at the end, we'll see where we go. We have, at this point, it looks like at least nine of us. And oh my God, 1 hour, I think, or less. Can you imagine? So, Jennifer, please.
Thank you, Ganesh. I can't really see the screen very well, so I can't read the names of the others who are in here. I apologize for that. So um, hopefully I'll be able to let you know who I'm going to pass this to. I'm Jennifer Quinto. I'm an artist and writer who resides in Alaska. I'm Alaska Native, and I have been doing a lot of trauma healing and equity work for the last decade, and uh, doing a lot of advocacy out in our communities. So thank you for your time, and thank you to all of those who gathered here with us today. And I am going to pass it to the person who looks like they're to the right of me on my screen. I think your name starts with the H or an M.
is it me?
Um,
I am, well, I see myself to your left, but if you, I don't know. Or me, oh no, you mean Miriana. Miriana.
Okay,
Hello, everybody. My name is Mirjana. I'm coming from Belgrade, Serbia, from Jazz Communication Consultancy, where I'm multimedia designer. But I have an IT background, so I've been consulted as I've been like an inner consultant in my agency for using different AI solutions. We use them a lot. And my vision is to bring innovation into art and design. Therefore, I like to blend technology with creativity.
Helen.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Helen Lundström Irwin, and I'm a novelist, a historical novelist. And I have a VR space that's a historical space that's set in Sweden, in the city of Lund in 1918. And it's inspired by one of my novels. And this novel has a women's community. And I am inspired by my character who had this women's community where she fought for suffrage, and other women in her near community fought for reproductive rights, and that was early 20th century. And so I am, like I said, I'm inspired by her work. So I gather women in my space, and it's called a Foremothers Cafe because it's not a cafe for my character. It's a cafe for us women who live today, in our modern women, so we can gather, which is good to say at GatherVerse. Uh, Let me pass it on to Bernice.
Thank you. Let me unmute here. Can you guys hear me? Awesome. I am Bernice. I'm the founder of Loman Creative Services, where we are a one stop shop for branding, marketing, and technology. We service small businesses, ministries, and nonprofit organizations. I'm also an author of a children's book called I Create. It's to help motivate young children and teaching them innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. I also have a virtual reality space for my book to walk children through that space through the immersive environment, teach them innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. And we also have a VR space for our office, Loma Creative Services. So I'm excited to be here and dive in more. Thank you. Let's pass it to Paige.
Hello, thank you, Bernice and Lubna, Helen, Jennifer, and all of the people here on this panel. It's an honor to be together. My name is Paige Dansinger. I am the founding director of Better World Museum, Horizon Art Museum, and Women in Horizon. I am also on the leadership committee of XR Women and an award-winning community builder. It's a delight to be here together at another S.H.E Summit, and my thanks and love goes out to Christopher Lafayette and all the people behind the scenes who makes this such an important event each year. Oh, Precious, please share about you.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here this evening. Yeah, so my name is Precious, and I'm a multidisciplinary creative. So my work lies in using technology, arts, culture, tourism. So currently, I'm exploring sound arts and work around extended reality. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Okay, so I'll pass over to Iris.
Okay. Hi, everyone. It's my second time being GatherVerse, so thank you, Chris, for having us. It's a great event. So currently I'm working at Amazon, kind of leading the AR shopping features. At Amazon, we use augmented reality and AI to help people basically spice up their shopping journey, make shopping more fun and personalized and more engaging. And before that, I was at MasterCard. We also experiment with new technologies like AR, VR, voice interaction to help people shop in a more intuitive and interesting way. And before that, I've always worked in design corporations and in the creative industry. I create installations for brands to tell their stories and interact with consumers. So I'm always passionate about bringing new technologies into either the consumer world or the cultural world. Apart from my job, I also work as an artist to create technological experiences that kind of combines art, technology, and design. So yeah, very excited to be here today. I will pass it to Patty.
Thank you. So it's great meeting you guys, ladies here. Thanks for inviting me. She Summit. So I'm Patty Penn. I'm the founder of Rev Arts. We are a platform to support artists to advance their careers through technology, exhibitions, opportunities, and also education. So we have around over 2,500 artists globally on our platform now. And we have also very lucky to have 10 locations in North America to host different exhibitions, galleries, etc. to continue to support our initiatives. Very interesting to share about us is we never, in our mission statement, we never mention we exclusive support female or minority artists, but I think because our team and also our funding team are female and also minorities, so over 65% our users are actually female and minorities artists. So which is very interesting. Very excited to our discussion today.
Wow, amazing. So I'm Lubna Dajani. My background is in systems analysis and design. So I think from the get-go, it was a good application of me being attention deficit, as it takes multiple interests, or maybe another label for it being polymathic. We're here from so many different backgrounds, and yet we're all creatives, and we're all here at the beginning of this year, and we've been all selected here by the master planner, Chris. So as we gather here, I wonder what we could do in the next 20 minutes or half hour that we have left that we could achieve by this year so that we can reflect on by next gatherers of this time? What would you want to do? I know what I would want to ask for, but I don't want to be a hog because I'm moderator. So I'm going to throw it into the field, and then maybe we'll see at the end if we'll end up in the same place. But it's for me about innovation through collaboration and competing to complete each other's work. So who wants to pick it up from there?
Yeah, collaboration. I would definitely like I was reading the private chat from Paige. You know, this is such an amazing group for this panel, and I've got the wonderful opportunity to support Paige and some great things, and vice versa. She has supported me in Horizon Worlds, Meta Horizon Worlds, virtual reality. And so what this looks like for me is collaboration, like going beyond just this gather virtually now, but connecting. And I've seen that thus far, even prior to us joining here. I saw some connects on LinkedIn. I got the DMs like, let's connect. And so I think it's going to take action beyond here. This is this is this is beyond the gather. Collaborating even more. Like I heard, I think it was Iris who mentioned she works with, Amazon. What's okay. How can we collaborate? How can we take it from what you've stated, and how can we collaborate even more with what we're doing, some projects that we all are working on? So yeah, I just wanted to kind of like piggyback on that, and you know
I'm
and just
laughing.
say definitely collaboration. I have some
I'm
great
laughing
things
because
that I'm doing that I would love, great support, and vice versa. That's
we didn't plan
that's
this
what I
ahead of
see.
time. We didn't plan
Yeah,
this ahead of time, but it totally jives with the whole idea
yeah,
of coming
yeah,
together to bring each other's capacities to a shared outcome, to
yes,
purpose,
yes,
uh,
absolutely.
and then filling each other's gaps. So I'm from for I for me, I'm hosting a festival and a summit around autism and
Mhm.
neurodivergence. Uh, and autism is used obviously as a blanket, but um,
Yes,
the reactions to it and how we all deal with it globally are varies. But it touches everyone. So that's my call, and I
yeah,
think it's something that we can co-create experiences that demonstrate our capacities
Mhm.
and
yes.
that serves that purpose. Um,
And we all have touched a community of people in
yes,
ways that we are designed to touch them. You have a community, I have a community, and all of us ladies here have a community. And like what you're working on and what we all are working on, we can share that out and support each other through our communities. And so that's something I definitely would love to support.
yeah, it overlaps somehow.
Yes. Absolutely.
Who else is in?
I wanted to thank Bernice for her generous shout out, as well as say, what Bernice is saying is this heart of the community, right?
Yes.
Lubna, you have a community around autism. We each have communities, whether it's around investment, women empowerment,
Mhm.
community building in different ways. And it's as if we are components or characters within a garden, right?
Yes.
We're bringing these different sources of nourishment together, and we're able to really, with a little bit of a little care, a little sunshine, water, we're able to really grow. And this is what really a microcosm of any community, whether it's your block in your neighborhood or like a large event you may have just hosted with invested members who are seeking a sense of belonging. And maybe that sense of belonging is at the same time dissolving isolation and feelings of powerlessness, right? That's something that a garden can provide. But as each person has shared, Helen's historical perspective or different artist perspectives here, or Iris, in selling things as a engaged experience, right? Then each one is so critical. For one, we could never have real social justice or equity or even belonging without that financial component where we all rise together. And in sharing our stories, it's so critical. And so it's an honor. We could really, we could create 3D flowers, trees, or any kind of asset, and really sell those to create like an awareness around and whether it's an environmental impact, as we're impacted by fires in the West Coast, or family members or community member needs. So every moment is an opportunity for collaboration and growing and rising together.
And I have my hypothesis is that many of the causes at the end of the day trickle back, feed back down to a set of common root causes, whether it's nutrition, it's health, it's safety and love and et cetera, the basics. So and then it manifests itself in different ways, and it all depends on the rest of the variables. And so I think by coming together, I genuinely think, regardless of the cause, where we bring our gifts from whatever they may be and apply them together where we fit the. Helen.
Yeah, I just feel inspired by your conversations about collaboration and neighborhoods, and if it's on your block or in the metaverse. And I just want to share that as of January now 25, the Four Mothers Cafe have started to collaborate with Africa VR Center and Campus, and it's a very sweet reason that we started doing that. It's because I have what we call fika on Thursdays. And it's a Swedish word which means coffee break with your friends and something sweet to eat. What I didn't know that the word fika in Swahili means arrive. And the people that have the event right next to mine, that's listed right on the Engage board, on their schedule, is Africa VR Center and Campus. So they first thought it was an African event. And we got to know each other because we call each other neighbors. And this year we just started to collaborate. So we have, we combine both of our events, and we each go to each other's events, and we kind of communicate between us and have more of a collaboration. So it's like you said, we can do it together. And I love that it's international. Oh, thank you.
Yes, please unmute.
Yeah. So I do want to step in because we have sayings like Rabat actually is built on partnership. So now we have 10 alternative spaces and also gallery spaces in North America. And so many folks ask us, how did you guys do that in 4 years to grow gallery business network? And for us, the answer is partnership. We partner with a lot of biggest landlord in the United States and a lot of commercial real estate professionals. And so my learning from that crazy journey is, so first of all, don't be afraid to reach out. I still remember the first call I reached out to one of the biggest landlord in the United States, and I just started business. I don't have anything. And I said, hey, I have this crazy idea, and you have some empty building, and I don't have enough money to pay your rent, but I think we can do something amazing things to support others' community, and also it will benefit your business as well. Interesting enough, I got a space, and without paying rent for first 2 years. And which is amazing. But of course, we got lucky enough during COVID because there are a lot of empty spaces. So I think we enter into a very good time. So that's kind of my first learning. Just don't be afraid to ask. Even you think you're a small fish and you're talking with some big folks. And another learning we got is also when you reach out to someone about collaboration and partnership, think about what kind of benefits, the values you can bring to another person. And so that's our pitch to, like, to those big companies. Even we are small, but we always say, hey, we can bring you like authentic community, and we are happy with the brand images, etc. So that's kind of our unique pitch. And my last learning I want to share is, even they say no now, never give up, never being hurt or something like that. We still always say, okay, probably it's not the best time, but how about, like, can we reach out like 2 years later or 1 year later? Can we update you like with our progress? We might have new projects you might be benefited for you. How about that? So we actually secured two new partners through that, 2 new locations through that as well. That's kind of my 3 learnings I really want to share with the audience and with the group.
Thank you. So it's never give up, reiterate, be persistent and clear on what you want to achieve, and totally collaborate and make it fun. So who else wants to share?
Yeah, I
Me.
think I'll just jump in. Can you hear
Please.
me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, so I think that as creative, that collaboration is really important, because like you can't thrive in a sector without collaborating with others, without partnership, and without building network. But just to like, so I don't repeat what others have said before, I think one of the challenge that we kind of face is like the fear of rejection. Because, like putting yourself out there and engaging with people come with like some sort of rejection, sometimes some kind of self-doubt, dealing with your own limiting belief and thinking like if you're actually like good enough for whatever thing that you're pushing up. But despite like the fears that we have, whatever sort of challenge we may think, or even like rejection in the process, the thing is like keep going and keep pushing, which is not like, and it's easier to say, yeah, keep pushing and keep going. But then, we are humans and we have emotions. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. So, irrespective of how we try to push and try, sometimes it just it's okay for us to kind of like take a rest, take a break, try to like evaluate and be strategic, because it's not possible to like network everywhere every time. You don't have the resources, you don't have that sort of enough time to think what kind of like relationship will give you like your sort of maybe highest form of return on investment, or like lead you to that goal that you're pushing. And so despite whatever thing would go, it's like when you have the support system, which is the importance of like collaboration and partnership, like this community of women we have to like share together with each other. We can draw energy from each other. We can like pick inspiration from each other to keep pushing on and going out to build this network that can help us in the things that we do. Yeah, just to share that. Thanks.
I'm grateful to be here and to hear you say that and to be with all of you. And for the really, the probably the most precious gift we can give each other and ourselves and our audience is that nugget about that self-love, and what that self-love is not selfishness, and how to practice self-love in everything that you do. Uh, and self-love begins with gratitude. And as long as in your self-love and gratitude, everything then shall feel good and well. And if it doesn't, then that's time for always, because we always have to be iterative in our processes. But I'm sure I would love to, I want to pass it to Marina. I know you wanted to say something before, and I'm really grateful to be amongst you ladies. Thank you so much.
Did you said Marina, or is it me? Did you mean me?
Yeah, I'm sorry, because
no,
Mariana, okay, forgive me. My glasses are,
no.
my screen actually nearly died and it's flickering.
We were talking about collaboration. I think it's when it comes to supporting women and our needs, collaboration is crucial. We can see collaboration in many aspects It's necessary if we want to, for example, if we want to transfer knowledge to our to future generations of women, to guide them. We have collaboration here. If we want to blend technology and art, we again need to have collaboration between different industries. If we want to transfer knowledge from different cultures, we again need to have collaboration. But one thing which is mostly interesting for me is collaboration, in terms what we have and what we feel as women, because our role is very important. We are like a collaboration part in the universe, and we have this, besides creativeness, we have this nurturing effect, nurturing characteristics. So again, collaboration is very important, to transfer, for example, our knowledge, or to future generations, or to make something meaningful for the community in general. So collaboration again.
Yes.
I don't know how much time we have, and I want this panel to go for a few hours, because then we can start breaking out and creating all sorts of things. But if I were a genie in a bottle and I can do anything, make any wish come true, what would what would you want it to be? What would you ask for?
If I'm a, if
Yeah.
you're in a bottle,
If we can have anything we want, if you can have anything you want,
anything we want as woman, or as me, Mirjana. Okay, as woman, just a space to freely express and to be creative, like without any limitations. That's my wish, especially when we have in mind all the women which need support, for example, women in underrepresented backgrounds. So it's definitely when we express freely, then the universe becomes perfect. I think it's again about this leading role that women have when it comes to creation and to guiding.
thank you for stepping up and sharing. Does anybody else want?
Yeah, that's really beautifully put. I really appreciate you know, sharing how proud we are as women and as creatives, especially with the current AI and, you know, especially generative AI technologies. It's taking over a lot of the creative jobs and roles, and it kind of poses an important question for us. What does it mean to be a human creative person, right? Like, what can we do that cannot be replaced, or that cannot be kind of done by machines? What makes us special as human creatives? So I think that question is highly related to what it means to be a woman, because being a woman, you know, unlocking the female energy, there is a lot of intuition. There's a lot of unspoken creativity being hidden in the identity of a woman. So I really like that, and I want to echo that. And this year, I'm really looking forward to sharing and learning. As you know, as a designer, I always kind of feel this, I don't want to say pressure, but I feel this strong urgency to learn new things, to learn new technologies, familiarize myself with them, and then I can kind of play with them and do some works with things that I see fit. And now all these new tools are coming out, and I feel the urgency to familiarize with the new technological tools, generative AI creative tools. And then I know a lot of people are doing the same. And then there is a lot of opportunity for us to share each other's learning and bring all of these learnings together and maybe pass them on to other people. So I'm looking forward to maybe organizing a lot of workshops and sharing sessions so we can all kind of learn together and teach each other.
I love that, which I think we can easily facilitate here. But between us, we have the content, we have the content creators, we have the healers, we have the platform. We just have to agree to come again together, and this will be a gather having come together very, very well, and will be followed.
Yeah.
It would be wonderful. Who else wants to share? Because if it were up to me, I would want just everybody to open their mics and speak, and we would have a lot more time. But and I'm not keeping the eye on the clock. They're going to have to tell me to get off the stage because I want to listen from all of you some more.
I would share that I'd like to see more equity, more inclusive opportunities for people around the world, from diverse people, Indigenous people, people from Global South and beyond, who, every perspective has such an important voice. So a more globalized, inclusive perspectives, and from certainly an abolishment of sort of like a top-down structure, so that we have a more fluid and circular way of communicating from our social, political, and economic sort of foundation. So a restructuring, like a large dismantling of traditional ways of educating, thinking, and working, and a more holistic and equitable system where there is not pay gaps or gaps in health information or access to technologies. I would really like, and I believe that this is aspirational, but I also believe it's realistic. It's within our grasp.
Totally. Anybody else agree?
I agree. Definitely inclusiveness. I work extensively with small sector of ministries, faith-based organizations, nonprofit organizations. For me, I would love to see the inclusiveness of different sectors, not just from a larger like tech companies, but bringing in those small businesses, those faith-based organizations, giving them even more of a voice with technology. One of the things that we do here at our office is we make sure that we expose those types of groups, even like those small businesses just starting out and learning how to, grab the VR headset and learn what they're doing and how it can be amplified through virtual reality. And we bring in faith leaders who come in our office, and they do a lot of mission work and teaching and traveling, spreading the gospel. We bring them in a space where we show them this is what you also can do from a 3D environment. So for me, I would just continue to do what we're doing, is to try to spread the word even more, but to expose those groups that you normally don't see as much overall. So yeah, kind of like piggybacking a little bit of what Paige was saying, that inclusiveness, but certain inclusiveness with the certain groups that we don't hardly see from a whole playing field. So definitely that's something I would love to implement and see even more.
I'd love to jump in on here, because I think what's being said behind everything that we're talking about is the work of liberation.
Yeah.
So often in the fields of work, we're talking about how we as women and certain groups get pigeonholed, and there's all of these barriers, and it is so hard for certain communities to be seen, to be heard, to have access. And so I think behind this conversation is really what I would love to see is the work of liberation to happen in our work environments, in our communities. And within leadership, what I would love to see is that people start recognizing, identifying the barriers, and then doing the work to empower the people that are coming up with against those barriers, and give them the opportunities, give them the tools and the resources to be able to be empowered and move past those barriers. So I think when we're talking about all of this, whether we're stating it or not, it's really, the desire for liberation work. And when we talk about self-love also, I think that ties into both empowerment and also the work of liberation, because so many times when we have these feelings, this sense, these limiting beliefs of ourselves, it's often because there is an underlying messaging within our communities and our work environments that we're not enough, that we're not doing these things. And so even when we're talking about self-love, that's the liberation of ourselves to be free and to be whole in who we are, and really empowering those parts of us that we feel so fragile about, that we feel aren't welcome, or maybe are uh, might get us into struggles and conflicts in the work environment and in the greater sense of the community. And so I think underlying all of this is really digging in and doing the work of liberation to re-envision ourselves in an empowering way, instead of feeling, uh, like having anxiety about these parts of us that we think aren't enough or don't fit into an environment, finding a way to give power to that and realize, this is my strength, this is something unique. And the other thing is, especially when we're talking about communities that are pushed out and don't have a lot of visibility and don't have representation, when there is a person in the room who is different than the majority of the room, that person is representing their greater community. And so when they bring something to the table and they speak about something in relation to who they are as their own identity that relates back to their community, that one person is representing hundreds, if not thousands of people. And so to empower that voice in the room is, I think, something that we really need to start giving rise to, because I think a lot of times it's easy to get pigeonholed when you're standing in a room and you are that person who's not a part of the greater community in the room, is that people can often invalidate that voice, invalidate those needs, invalidate what they're bringing to the table as important. And so I think within the work of liberation, it's also empowering the voices that are at the table.
Yes, indeed. And I think so. I want to just underscore that, as I felt it, self-love brings you to liberation. Couldn't come without self-love, and but you cannot be. If we are here and if we can hear us, then you're the only one that can put you out of liberty is yourself. And those are the limiting beliefs. These are the things that you tell yourself, or that we have been conditioned so much to hold on to that negative. So a friend of mine, dear friend, said, just ask, when the thought comes, is it an ego busting or ego boosting? Thank you, Reverend Michael. Right? Are you beating yourself up? Is it helpful? Because that's not, so when something goes wrong, something went off, then maybe this is when that work that you learn from and you move on. And not to turn this into a preaching session, so I will stop here on that, but I think all of us are on the same page with that. And then how do we extend access and reach to these things, to each other, and in the community? And that's exactly what the Living Labs is attempting to do, is to bring the humanity and technology together in a way that elevates us all by bringing it into the least represented, most impacted, because they're often a sad correlation, because often the ones that had the least to contribute and are the least represented are the most impacted by the crisis, the poly crisis. So wouldn't it be cool if we were to come together, deliver on our gifts, achieve our objectives, and at the same time seed some healing? So I'm so grateful. I think we're probably completely like out of time, but hey, that would be my, I would love to connect with all of you and anybody else who wants to continue to do with this journey with us. And I will leave it to all of you, to whoever wants to say a final word, and that'll be it. I'm grateful to be here.
I presume that few of us would like to say a final word, since it's GatherVerse and it's about humanity and about technology and innovation. It's all the similar topics and it's all bundled in one. So technology is very important in process of creating a future inclusive for all women, because it allows us to transform some ideas about future worlds into reality. Again, if we want to help women, different women, we again need technology. We need the platforms. We need technology to support us to have their voices heard. So it's constantly perpetuating technology and creativity and technology. And I think GatherVerse and this conversation dialogue here is a perfect place to illustrate these things.
Thank you.
Yeah, just to say some closing words is that irrespective of who we are, because we as women, we are not just a homogeneous group. So there are different intersectionality, we have socioeconomic status, we have issue of race, even educational level. But to see in our work of doing liberation or a form of expression in terms of creativity, we should kind of find the gap to see where we can meet the needs of diverse kinds of women. And I'll just say, in whatever work we do, we should keep creating, we should keep exploring, we should keep trying to make the little difference we can in our little way. You'll be surprised that that little thing that you do actually make a difference and make an impact. So let's just keep being ourselves and keep creating to the world. That's what I have to say.
Yes, as Christopher always states, our gather was welled, and I definitely agree to that. This was an amazing gather. My last words are now, let's move forward. After this talk, after the discussion, I'm ready to connect with each of you. Please, let's connect further. Those who I haven't connect to already on social, whether it's LinkedIn or any other social platform, I would just love to, extend some things that I'm doing with you guys to support you even more. So let's move forward from here. That's my last words.
Let's start a group. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I think we've been cued. So thank you so very, very much. Thank you. Really grateful.
Thank you. It's lovely.